Another year has gone by and we can't discuss 2020 without acknowledging the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on our employees, their families and communities. My thoughts are with those that suffered from the COVID-19 pandemic. What about you, Jose?
I agree. Words are not adequate to explain the depth and complexity that global populations have had to navigate through this past year with COVID-19.
But true to our purpose of feeding the future, we're now producing our Sustainability Report 2020.
Yes, and I'm hopeful that these past events in 2020 will help shape the future of the way people and industries address sustainability. But more importantly, we set a dot on the horizon for Roadmap 2025, where Nutreco wants to be by the year 2025.
Tell me more about that dot, that horizon. What are the spearheads?
Yeah, Roadmap 2025 is Nutreco's sustainability strategy, and it has three main pillars. Pillar one is about health and welfare, and that is all about addressing the challenges posed by antimicrobial resistance. Pillar two is about climate and circularity, and that is about reducing our carbon footprint and emissions. And finally, pillar three is about good citizenship. So we have some interesting targets on diversity and inclusion.
Well, they're all critically important, but as a trained medical doctor, I can't help but being really fascinated by the health and welfare. And I really welcome that we put targets very concrete to help our clients reduce the usage of antibiotics to address the issue of antimicrobial resistance. Yes. That's really good.
Yes, and we're also very confident, Rob, how Nutreco is addressing climate change in the pillar on climate and circularity. So in 2020, Nutreco committed to the Science-Based Target Initiative.
I've also noticed that in 2020, compared to 2019 for Scope 1 and 2, we've been able to reduce our CO2 emissions by 12%.
Yes, yes. The final pillar too is interesting because we set a target for gender equality of having 25% women in places of senior management positions in our management teams around the world.
So we have about 21% of women in senior positions today. We have a good target. And also it feels like we're on track, so that's good.
We also announced our soy and palm oil sourcing strategy or policy, as well as our code of conduct for business partners. Both of these documents are very relevant and important to ensure that sustainable ingredients are in our supply chain, and ultimately to decouple deforestation from our supply chain. So I'm very happy and proud of the efforts done by our procurement teams in both Skredding and in Trout Nutrition. They really stepped up.
Yeah, I'm also really happy with how our procurement teams and quality assurance teams and the other teams in our company work together to really address the usage of soy and palm. So that's a fantastic example of really good collaboration internally. Yeah, I know that some of the targets in sustainability are increasingly difficult to achieve, but I think we owe it to ourselves and to our kids. We owe it to the future generations to really make the effort and make sure that they also have a healthy planet to live on and have a healthy life.
You know, I think that tone or that sentiment sets the tone for a chapter in our sustainability report entitled Sharing Our Dilemmas. And for the last 3 consecutive years, Nutreco has shared its dilemmas with the open world on the obstacles and challenges that we face that are not yet resolved.
Very important. Thank you, Jose. I think it's a content-rich annual report, one that demonstrates our continued commitment to both the United Nations Global Compact and the Sustainability Development Goals. It's all part of our purpose of feeding the future. We welcome you to dive into our Sustainability Report 2020 and help us on this journey.